Hello everybody and welcome to this new video in my Tesla series. So in this video I want to talk about Tesla as a computer on wheels. I believe it is one of the major selling points that Teslas have, and it's one of the reasons why Tesla is better. It's a better car and it's a better stock to buy for us. And that is because of, yes, Tesla is a technological company. They're a tech company. They know how to do tech. They're a highly aligned company with a lot of big tech firms. And therefore, there's a lot of good things going for it as far as how the car is made. But before I go into it, it's important to put a little background. We live in a connected era. Everybody's connected today. And so it only makes sense that your car is connected. Your car is your computer on wheels. It should be connected. And look around, people are lost without their smartphone. If you lose your smartphone, you're likely to look for it for a long while. Look around again. Everybody always has them on. We all have smartphones. We got used to smartphones. So isn't it odd that our cars really don't do any of the things that our smartphones do? Um, and the answer to that is yes, because your car should be connected as well. Or if it's not obvious, it will be. As the car drives itself, it will be obvious that you don't want to have entertainment on a tiny screen on your phone. No, you want to have real world-class entertainment inside your vehicle. And your car should be connected. I mean, we have everything connected. I mean, down to dishwashers and microwaves. So it's obvious. It's obvious to say, but the legacy auto sector again is not a tech company. It's a legacy auto company in that sector, and so they haven't done the development that Tesla has done. And so what Tesla offers is a car that is digital and connected, as designed by a tech company, not a legacy auto player. And we have the example of Volkswagen spending tens of billions on software and essentially quitting, realizing that it's going to be much harder to do. You need to have a DNA when you do that. And Tesla has that DNA. And so, of course, if you're a Tesla owner, this seems obvious to you and you're probably not watching this video. But if you're not a Tesla owner, when I bring up in my videos that Tesla's a smartphone on wheels, know what I'm talking about. So one of the things is that it's a theater, right? You have a theater in the car where you can watch Netflix, Hulu, YouTube. You can even watch Twitch. And by the way, there's like many more apps. This is just a few apps shown here. But you can stream your favorite shows. You can have your favorite entertainment, even Twitch, even watch other people play video games, perhaps in a Tesla. And you have all of that. You have all of that in a big screen. And that's a big deal. And actually, if you look at the Tesla Model 3 redesign that they're planning, one of the main things that they'll redesign is the screen to make it bigger and better, because the screen is going to be everything as Tesla gets closer and closer to solving full self-driving. That screen is going to be the center of the car. And also, right now, a lot of people say, oh, you have to wait 15 minutes. Well, to charge 200 miles when you're on a road trip, you have to wait 15 minutes. Well, yeah, sure, it's longer than putting gas in your car. And by the way, if you want to see the shortcomings of gas stations, I have another video on that in the series. But what do you do for 15 minutes? Well, entertainment is here. Entertainment is here for 15 minutes. Think about how long we spend waiting in our cars. Like when we're not driving, our cars are idle. We're waiting for someone, waiting for something. Right? It happens all the time. Well, then all of a sudden you can have entertainment in your car while you're waiting, while it's idle. And of course, since Teslas are electric, there's no issues of leaving the engine running when your car is idle because the car is always on, which is another major advantage. So what else can you do with the smartphone on wheels? Well, you can browse the web. Very interesting. I did some research. The only other car that has a web browser in it is an electric car as well. It's the Polestar, and so these features are not in legacy cars just yet. per my research. So this is pretty interesting. And again, depending on how you watch this video, it may be available in legacy cars now. But at the time of recording, yeah, Polestar is like the only one. So you have a browser, you can browse the internet, right? And you have a bunch of different apps and features that you can use in your car. This is a fun one so that people don't break your window when you have a pet. It shows you my owner will be back. Don't worry. There's AC on. This is sentry mode. This is protection for your vehicle. Whenever there's an issue detecting, the car is recording and everything is recorded. And then they have arcade and toy box where you can play a whole bunch of games. And there's so many more things you can do. You can have a campfire in the car. There's so many. There's a lot of silly apps. These apps change all the time. These updates change all the time. Um, but just know that it's a computer on wheel. You have your own car operating system on the computer. It's kind of like a giant enhanced tablet. But also, Teslas will be able to do things that tablets can't do. And that's where the next Tesla Model S split comes. And this is from a presentation from Elon Musk. So, of course, before I go into the power of the car, self-driving is and will always be the super app of the car. But that's the topic for another video. That's why you need a good computer in the car. You need a computer with throughput, with good throughput for your compute, because the car has to drive. But that's for a separate video. And again, self-driving will be the super app of any Tesla. And a significant improvement over just GPS. You can have trip planner when you know where your charging stations are, etc., etc., etc. But let's talk about lighter things. When your car drives itself, well, you can play video games. But of course, the generation that the average buyer of Tesla is the video game generation. The Gen Z millennials, that's the video game generation. They're really, really likely to care about that stuff. And the newer Teslas have a PlayStation 5 level performance where you can play very, very demanding games, which again, and this goes into my video about brand and popular culture. Tesla is aligned with popular culture because this is a game called Cyberpunk 2077. Very, very demanding game, and actually a lot of people can't play that game on their computer or on their console, but you can play it in a Tesla. So that leads us to a very, very interesting future where as you drive, as you travel, as you go places, and as self-driving becomes a thing, and I'm a long-term thinker, I think 10 years from now, Teslas will probably be places where you entertain yourself as the car takes you from point A to point B. And the fact that they have this, I think, is very stunning, and it sets the course. It shows the direction as to where the company is headed. Software updates will eventually give us a full app store. An app store just like we have on our phones or just like we have on our iPhones. This will be a very powerful stuff. There will be the operating system for Tesla. There's already one, a reduced version of one, but the vision for the future is much bigger than just a browser and just YouTube and just video games. It will be a full platform. I really believe that. And so imagine all the things you can do. Imagine you can pull into a drive-through and see the menu options on your screen. On your way to the show, you can review previews of the show or read about the show that you're about to watch. If you're going to, I don't know, an opera or something. There's so many apps that are yet to be developed that we don't have because we don't have computers on wheels. Computers on wheels will lead to many new apps. You can have your car handle payments. That's another thing, finish handing your credit card out of the window to pay. Your car can connect and pay, and so you don't have to hand your phone or your credit card, running the risk of someone grabbing it and running away with it. So there's a lot of things, lots of innovations that can come from having the car be a computer. And the Tesla computer, once again, is central to the vision of the future for Tesla. And this vision of the future, Elon Musk talked about it multiple times. It's rooted as to what do we do in planes. When we're 10 hours in a plane, yes, you can work in a plane, but most people decide to entertain themselves in the plane. And the future may be your car takes you on a road trip of, I don't know, 8 hours. You alone or as a family, you're most likely going to choose entertainment. So perhaps even new forms of entertainment can be developed with Tesla. And they've already started working on this. Um, for example, there are some games you can play with the Tesla's own steering wheel when you're parked. So it can be very, very interesting applications. You don't need to have a whole gaming setup. Um, Again, the computer on wheels is one of the big reasons why I think Tesla is a much better car and why they're better. And as mentioned earlier, new EV companies may have good computers on wheels, but traditional autos still don't have those features. You still can't stream YouTube on a traditional automobile. And I know some of them may be able to connect to Android, but it's not the same. It's not the same. They're not there yet. Again, depending on where you watch this video. And so it will be important to see whether Tesla's lead in the computer on wheels, a reason to buy the stock, not investment advice, if that lead really keeps going on it. It will be interesting to see that. But anyways, let me conclude by saying, as usual, this is not investment advice, just entertainment, edutainment. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you can. I really appreciate it. And you may follow me on Twitter at BTDenominator. And thanks a lot for your time and have a great day.